Hang on, let me try this again. There we go. You wouldn't think I've got a good time on this category, would you?
So hello there.
Oh. I'm used to that. I'm gonna go ahead and announce the next game, and I'm gonna make this real quick because Vin, I want to make sure that you get to play as soon as you can. But welcome on, everybody. We are back with Strobophagia. I'm still struggling with that. With the wonderful Vin. So everybody, give it up for Vin, and let's watch the next round. It's all on you now, Vin.
Thank you very much, and thank you as well for also having me. So this is Strobophagia, a rave horror game. Metacritic was about 60 out of 100. It's perfect, it's wonderful, meets both the criteria. I'm going to go through it while we're actually running it because it is quite short anyway. Game starts when clicking New Game, ends when you see the Feast title card at the very end. Should be swift, so if the timer is okay, I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and we should be good. So 3, 2, 1, go. So, Strobophagia. Very, very light RNG mechanics in this game. Kind of, you're going to get a feel for at the very front of this one, because it's going to be, are you going to the front or to the right over here? Usually 9 out of 10 times you're going to be going over to the right. So, what is this game about exactly? Well, hey, we just woke up in a very strange environment. We're not really sure. Well, hey, we're going to a rave. We're being promised ultimate freedom going here. All we have to do is agree to the fact that no one is leaving alive. So, no one really seems to give it a crap about the fact that there is no music playing, so we're just going to do that. This game has some very, very light puzzle elements. We are going to just have to go through it very, very slowly at first, and then we kind of quicken up the pace. Now, everything is very much stagnant. You don't have any real RNG with the actual puzzles. The only RNG is NPC placement, your spawn area. Everything else can be guaranteed 100% known where their placement is going to be. And there's a guy up there. So we have to go through this maze. At the moment I'm fiddling around with some like out of bounds section because there is one actually very close to here. And it's a Unity game, so naturally it can potentially be broken. I'm trying to find out how to break it. So, there's a couple of recurring characters, such as the individual that was in the tree there. And, it doesn't really play much of an important role right now. We just have to kind of figure out what the heck is going on. But hey, we got a free phone. And this person's also very, very happy about it. So we need to take a couple of pictures and figure out what the heck is actually even going on. So, about what's actually going on as well, there is the lore isn't actually all that deep. It's like, hey, you're going to a rave, you're going to have a fantastic time. Oh, all of a sudden there's horror everywhere. No one knows what the heck is even going on anymore. So, we're just going to say, phone, that's cool. And as you would have seen, there were boxes on the actual screen of the phone there too. This does actually involve some image board, little implementations where you can share information through tutorials in the phone as well. So you're not just using the phone as a mere light, you're actually using it to figure out what exactly is going on. And as you can see, the phone is just popping up in your face here and there. We're fine with that, and we just have to put our shiny new rock down there. So, as you can see, everyone's still pretty mellow. The rave really hasn't begun yet, but that's why we're here. So these people are going to try to get in our way. Get out of the way, please. Thank you. And then we're going to get the party started. So very minimal strobel effects. This is one of the major ones. There's about maybe 2 to 4 overall throughout the entirety of the game. The ending that we are going to try to achieve is aforementioned as well is... Sorry. Aforementioned is the Feast ending. And Feast is about on par time-wise with the main plot. So there's 2 endings in this gaming, and we're just getting the odd one because I want to feel like I'm doing something different. The times for both of them are pretty much on par with one another, I think. I just have to put in my shiny rock here. And... There we go. There's a slight little click on the door there. We have been officially locked in. So we have to do a couple of other little puzzles. We have to get some shiny rocks because we want to increase our dang shiny rock collection. We're going to be collectors from here on out. So, as you can see, I picked up a bottle that was actually far different from what was advertised as beer. We have to bring it to someone else, and it's out in the spooky forest. So what I like to do is, I don't know if it has been patched out or not, but when you focus towards the ground, lights in the distance can actually appear when it is not meant to. So little tip there. And I continue to use it just in case. So this guy wants his little puzzle done. I do it. He runs off. He's quite happy enough to give us another shiny rock. So the shiny rock needs to go into a shiny little place in the shiny wall. And these dudes are actually pretty content about that having happened. And they're just going to continue standing there apparently. But also, during this forest area, now that we are returning, we have to be very careful. Why? There are also other people who are trying to find shiny rocks. We don't want to give them our shiny rocks. We have earned our rock, they can get their own. So, we are just going to have to return to the same spot each and every time because that is where the slot actually is. And this is the portion of the game that actually diverts entirely from the main plot. Because we're going to say, you know what, screw it. We're going to slap a couple of people because they're in our way. Violence is the answer. So, as you can see above that door, it said exit. Because, you know what, I don't really like what's happening here. I don't think it's really good for us to stay here. I'm gonna go home. And there's a couple of other people who agree with us here. And this is another dude who is a recurring character. Earlier on he was waving his arms up in the air, just hoping that we would actually take his picture. We didn't, and he's very upset about that. So what does he decide to do? Oh look, we have a phone. He's just gonna run off to the woods and take as many selfies as he dang wants. So we have a quick little loading section here, and simultaneously while that is holding, like when it's just holding on there, so there we go, fantastic, and we see a little save there. I'm holding back and shift so that I can just get a little bit of an extra movement in there. That's about one of 2 jump scares in the entirety of the game. So as you can probably surmise, we're not alone in this forest. I am going to take a cheeky few little extra routes to try and get this as quickly as possible. If we stray too far into the forest, the game does actually say, you know what, you're probably getting lost and we're going to rein you back in. But because there's also something lurking in the forest, we have to be very careful of that too. If they catch us, they send us straight back. Whoa! Dude, it's fine. It's chill. That's actually the first time in a very long time that he has caught up with us. Usually you get like 1 or 2 little passes and that's fine, but it's a very simple little area here. We can get back on track very, very quickly. I was being way too cheeky trying to skip there. We have to follow this trail. Naturally, it's not too difficult at all. We just have to make sure that we don't hear any extreme footsteps nearing our vicinity. Because otherwise, we're not going to be in for a good time. However, there we go. We just have to follow the lights. It is showtime in this direction. So, as you know, naturally we don't have our phone. But where is our phone? Right here. All we have to do is reach in and grab it. Are we gonna do it though? Well, apparently other people have, so we might as well follow in their footsteps, right? There we go. But just in true horror fashion, it doesn't even matter that we have now only 1 arm rather than 2. So, I'm gonna do a quick little skip here, and it involves hitting tab consistently alongside left click. We saw this gentleman earlier, and we don't care what he has to say, and that's why we've done that little skip. It's one of the handiest little tips there as well, like a little skip. Because otherwise we are still kind of reading what's going on with this entire group, this little cult, if you will. And this is a nice little area here, where it's kind of more relaxed. We just have to listen to the actual location of the music. Naturally follow the beat, not very deep at all, but we are going to do it regardless. As you could have seen, there was also a door there, and the only way to get it open is to follow the beat. So I'm gonna go around over here and see where it's gonna take me next. So usually you do have to go about like 1 or 2 laps around and it's absolutely like a-okay, just like that. And sometimes the game it's a little bit jank. This game is actually pretty jank, and that's partially why I do enjoy it. But now and then you are going to face upwards towards the sky or what have you. You're going to be looking a little more to the right or to the left than you'd like sometimes. And it's just the nature of the actual engine, I think, and how the game has been programmed. But, you know, things like that, we can probably use that to our advantage. As said, we are still currently trying to go through and find new out-of-bounds areas that we can use. Currently, we have found one that may have use, but we have just to toy with it a little bit more. So up to there, we have some guys that are just doing their cult sort of stuff, just at an altar. We're just going to ignore them entirely and go on through here. This guy, kind of chill, but looking a little peaky. So we're just going to ignore him, and we're going to go through the same little puzzle as before, and it's a-okay. So we're just going to be doing like another lap around. However, this one does differ a little bit than the last one. And why? Because we're going to be coming across a different buddy. So that guy that we passed in the hallway just prior to this room, he wasn't looking too hot. And there's another guy around here who's also not really doing too good. But you know, he's kind of a little bit angry at first, but he mellows out, you know. He just needs a little minute to settle down, and he just kind of chills for some reason in the hallway. Not sure why, but he does what he does, and that's a-okay. He's not bothering us. So long as we don't actually waltz into him, we're fine. He doesn't actually injure us whatsoever, but it's a neat little visual. So we're just going through the lap here. There we go. We are on to the next section, and we're actually just about done with the run. We have about maybe one more part, and that's kind of it. So naturally, we still are kind of going through the tunnels here. We're trying to figure out the secret. How do we just decipher all these little things that have been given to us? Truth be told, it's not that deep. It's pretty shallow story-wise, but visually speaking, auditorily speaking, it's absolutely fantastic. And the neat little thing is, this path, you usually do go down this path anyway, with the main lot you do anyway. And you meet this wonderful gentleman as well, who is now chasing us. But we go through it in an area where it's actually all lit up rather than completely dark. We're going to slap some people and see if they can help us. They don't, and unfortunately, we get eaten. However, a nice little thing there, we did actually have only one arm. And also, everyone else is kind of sleeping, but we're not. And we're able to slap people instantly now. Just gonna say this, you don't have to slap people. I just enjoy it. We give the gift of slapping, people receive the gift of napping. So this is basically the end of the run. All we have to do is listen to the wonderful beats, maybe a little, you know, another tap or so of the head. And then the screen, depending on how many people you do slap, it will get more and more red, more and more distorted than it should. Otherwise, it's just kind of a waiting game. So you kind of read all these images, all these senses that are presumably just flashing in your mind, you know, telling us to do all these things. We have essentially become the monster. And we are about to hit time in just a second. Time. And that is the entire run. So as said, we are working on outbounds, but for the moment, that is it.
GG, that was honestly a beautiful and just very auditorial pleasing game to watch.
It is genuinely one of the more, auditorily speaking, enjoyable games that I've played. But yeah, genuinely speaking, if you're interested in running this, it will be wonderful to have you on board. We don't have that many runners yet, but I would love to break the game with some other people as well. So if this seems up your alley, I would actually really suggest it. And I'm just gonna say thank you for having me on the show. Thank you to all the tech team, everyone that's watching. I hope that you enjoyed the rest of the show. You can catch me over on twitch.tv/Fanada if you like this sort of thing. I do some more speedruns over there, sort of more horror oriented, but I also do casual stuff too, and other genres. So I'm gonna wish good luck to the rest of the runners, good luck to the rest on the charity stream, gaining more donations for Child's Play, wonderful organization. I hope it can receive more. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and that will be me. Peace out.
Yes, thank you so much. So we are going to take a quick break, set up for the next run. Next up, we have Hippinator playing Underworld Ascendant. So don't click away, and we'll be right back.
That's the run. That's the run. Super short game. The world record on the world record for console for Buttercup 100% is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh no, that sucks. I don't like it when Mojo Jojo gets a gun. And that's the run. Time. Sorry I couldn't give a good warning, but it comes fast.
GG.
Wait. What was the approximate final time?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I started the timer like 30 seconds late.
You know what?
It says a minute it says a minute 45 here. That's not right.
So it's probably somewhere in the 2 to 2.5 minute range.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fairly high chance it's world record. Actually. Which is kind of funny.
Would you like me to... I can retime it during intermission, during like a backup.
Yeah, sure. If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. Not like it'll take a long time to retime it, I guess. Alright, well, again, thanks to Aurorable Games for having me. This is my second marathon with you guys. I'll definitely be submitting again in the future. It's been a lot of fun. I hope.
All right, everybody, as we are setting up for our next run, I just wanted to let everybody know, why are we here? What are we raising money for? We're actually raising money for Child's Play. Child's Play is a game industry charity dedicated to improving the lives of children and teens in children's hospitals around the world. Child's Play currently has a network of over 180 children's hospitals worldwide, and as well as nearly 200 domestic violence shelters across the United States. If you want to support our charity, which we highly recommend, because who doesn't love Child's Play? We have actually raised money for them before. We love them here. Exclamation point, donate. Get those donations in. Every little bit helps. It doesn't matter if you donate $1 or 100 or 1,000. Every little bit helps, and we greatly appreciate everybody here not only watching these awesome runs, but supporting a great cause.
And get ready to set up Joseph Schuster 316, who will be running win-back covert operations. So just stay tuned.
We have a $5 donation from Kuno. Thank you so much, Kuno.
$5 from Kuno! Yay!
Yay!
Yay! There's confetti all over everything in my room. Oh my gosh!
Alright, we should be live.
Okay. Hello everybody, I think it's the morning for you. It's quite already afternoon